Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to shoot a gun that I have wanted to shoot for as long as I can remember, for as long as I've been into guns, and today I finally got my hands on one. The IWI Desert Eagle 44 Magnum. And you can tell that it is an absolute beast. This gun that I have here is my Glock 17 9mm. That is actually a full-size Glock pistol, and it just makes it look miniature compared to the Desert Eagle. Now, I don't know much about these guns other than they are huge, heavy, and super powerful. So today I've got a few different types of ammo out here. We're basically just going to shoot this gun, have some fun with it, and maybe at the end we'll do a ballistic shell test with a couple of the hollow points that I got. But I just thought that I would make a video and upload it for y'all to see, because it's not very often that you get to shoot a gun like this. So while I have it available to me, I figured I'd make a video and shoot this thing a little bit and have some fun with it. So let's get into it. So like I said, this gun's chambered in 44 Magnum, and this here is a 9mm. This is what I shoot the most of on this channel, and this is the 44 Magnum that the Desert Eagle shoots. As you can see, just an enormous round with a lot of power behind it. So first I'm just going to take a few shots at our metal toolbox down range. 9mm usually bounce right off that thing. I got a feeling that the 44 Magnum is going to go straight through it, so let's see what it does. That thing is powerful. That was actually my first time shooting that. I wanted it to be on camera. And it doesn't have a lot of recoil. It's not like it's, you know, like too much recoil, probably because the gun weighs 42 pounds. But you can tell you're containing a giant explosion in your hands when you shoot that, even though the weight of the gun makes the recoil, you know, fairly calm and not too much to handle or anything. You can just feel the blast and the force from that 44 Magnum out of this giant gun. It's definitely a unique feeling, and the slide and the bolt, which I'll show you here in a minute, are so heavy that you can literally feel it moving. It kind of reminds me of an AK, how you can feel the action in the AK moving as you shoot, just because of that giant piston. Well, this is really similar to that, and you can feel the slide coming back and going forward, coming back and going forward. Really cool. Now, I don't know how well this is going to focus, but you can see the bolt in that gun. It reminds me a lot of an AR-15 bolt. And I mean, keep in mind, this is a handgun, and this thing actually has a rotating bolt in the slide that looks and works a lot like an AR-15 bolt. It's just absolutely crazy. Let's go take a look at this toolbox. I have a feeling that those went straight through there, and I can see the holes from here. And I want to take a look at those, so let's go check it out. I turned this around, so there's no 9mm over here, but actually on this side, all those dents are 9mm. So, like I said, the 9 bounces right off this thing, whereas the 44 Magnum is ripping through it like paper. Okay, so this is the bullet that we were shooting at the toolbox down range. Next, we're going to shoot the Hornady Lever Evolution FTX round. Now this has the red polymer tip that Hornady puts in a lot of their bullets, and this is definitely a more powerful bullet than the cheap Full Metal Jacket we were just shooting a minute ago. So I got a couple spray paint cans on top of that toolbox down there, so see what it does. And now we're going to try the second one. So this is our second spray paint can I shot. That looks like the exit hole. And that's the entrance hole. Just it completely blew that thing apart. Pretty cool though. I found it about 30 yards away from where I shot it. Now I have had a couple malfunctions with this gun. These aren't necessarily known to be like Glock reliable or anything like that. They're mostly just, you know, kind of a cool factor thing and just so over the top and ridiculous that they're just awesome to have and awesome to shoot. So I have had a couple failures to eject. This one I don't think is lubricated very well. I put a little bit of oil on that bolt, but I didn't take it apart and lubricate it properly, so I assume that's probably a lot to do with that. But there's a couple things about it that I want to point out. Number one, the thumb safety on this thing is just hilarious. For one, it's the backwards thumb safeties that I'm not a big fan of, meaning you flick it up to put it on fire. I prefer the 1911 kind where you flick it down to put it on fire, but the slide is so enormous that really you have to do it with your offhand unless you just have giant hands. Another thing is you might have to wear gloves if you're going to shoot this for a super long period of time, because I've shot probably 100 rounds through it today and it's tearing my hands up for sure. First of all, this giant, the slide lever here that you use to lock the slide to the rear or send it home is textured really aggressively, and if you hold it, you know, like you're supposed to hold a pistol, that thing just digs right into your palm of your support hand, and that's kind of annoying. But you kind of expect that when you pick this thing up. You just have to be really rough with it, really tough with it, and kind of manhandle it to get it to work. There's a couple times now where I've went to put a round in the chamber and it's jammed and had a failure to feed just off me, you know, trying to rack around manually into the chamber. So, like I said, that could be a lubrication issue or just the fact that these guns are kind of known to be, you know, a little finicky. Not like terribly unreliable or anything, but they're definitely not like a Glock or a SIG or a Smith & Wesson or nothing like that. They're just kind of a novelty item that's super cool to have and super cool to shoot. So, alright guys, so it wouldn't be a proper video if I didn't do a gel test. So before we go, I'm going to shoot a couple of these 44 Magnum rounds out of the Desert Eagle into my 20% ballistic shell block and see how it does. Now, these are super powerful bullets. I'll be surprised if they stay in the gel block, but maybe since they're going so fast and you know they're a bigger bullet, maybe they will. So I don't know. So we're going to find out. The first one we're going to test is the Hornady Custom 44 Magnum 240 grain XTP bullet. Now this is a actual hollow point from Hornady, and looks like it should expand nicely and do a lot of damage, so let's see how it does. Now before I shoot this, I just want to say that I did do another gel test earlier today, so in that gel block there is a couple other bullets and several other wound channels that we're going to have to look past. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing. I didn't plan on having this out here today, so whenever we go to the GoPro shot that you're going to see here in a minute, you will see several other wound channels and a couple other bullets inside that gel block, so I apologize for that, but let's go ahead and do it. I don't think it stayed in the gel block. Well, that was my only water jug I had left, so for the next one we're probably not going to have a water jug to put behind it. But let's go ahead and go take a look. Alright, now, like I said, this gel block is not too clear anymore. The one we just shot is on the bottom, and you can see the larger diameter entrance hole right there compared to the 9mm that I shot earlier today. And I don't know if you can see that, but some of that bullet came apart about 2 inches into the gel. and started kind of fragmenting. Definitely a much larger wound channel than the 9mm above it, and it carried much further into the gel too. Had a pretty good wound channel all the way until it left the gel block, and then obviously it wiped out our water jug. Alright, next up is the 225 grain FTX round. This is also by Hornady, and this one has the red tip on the end. Not sure if that's going to really do much. Obviously the first one we just shot was way too powerful to stay in that gel block, and it went straight through the gel and out the other side, so we'll see how this one does. And this one's actually a lighter weight bullet, and it's going a little bit faster, so I doubt this one's going to stay in there. And I was correct, it did not stay in the gel block, but you can see it's right in the middle there. An enormous wound channel, a much bigger wound channel on that one than the first one that we just did. And you can see it did shed the red insert that was in the bullet, but just too much power, too much velocity, and just too big of a bullet. It went straight through that gel block. There's a few pieces of the bullet that it left behind. You can see them there, and the red piece here. But like I said, just 44 Magnum is a super powerful bullet, too powerful to stay inside that gel block, and too powerful to even retrieve from our water jug. It went straight through our water jug as well. So next time maybe I'll bring out a second gel block. I'm in the process of getting one right now, so for a couple reasons. Number one, this one's getting brown, you can't really see it, and for powerful bullets like these, I want to have a second gel block to stop some of these bullets. So I apologize for that, but it wouldn't have been a good video or a proper video if I didn't do a gel test at least once to close this video out. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a super fun experience for me. I did not think that I was going to get to shoot this today, but I couldn't pass it up, and I had to make a video for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. The Desert Eagle 44 Magnum is just an amazingly powerful gun, a super cool gun, and I definitely recommend picking one up if you've never got to shoot one and taking it out and shooting it. It is awesome, and I love it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up for me. If there's anything else you'd like to see, go ahead and let me know. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.